Have you ever been hated or discriminated against? I have. Oh, that one, that one too old for a boy. CSEC students, one good way to think about poetry is to make it relatable to your current circumstance, or connect it with something that you find mainstream. Or you find my song old, find your own song. That being said, where's the poetry in Dreamin' Black Boy by James Berry?
Have you ever been hated or discriminated against? I have.
Yeah, Eminem was white and thing, and this is really about the oppression of black people. But overall, we know we have our approach to poetry. Content, theme, technique, structure. Content, theme, technique, structure. You understand those things, you'll be able to handle any CSEC question in the English B exam. Probably any CSEC question. Now, if you look at the poem, and for those who not really doing CXC, the poem in the description below this video. So let me jump into the content. The poem is about the dreams of a black boy. He dreams that he will no longer be discriminated against due to his skin color. Now, a quick scan could just get a little bucket list of some of the things that he dreams of, or some of the things that he desires. He wants the teacher to pay him some mind. Oh God, just listen to the boy a little bit now. He just wants to be appreciated. He wants a little thing like a hug and that kind of thing. He wants to be brave. He wants to be able to move freely, and he wants to be successful, and he wishes that society itself will just be better. Be better, America! The meaning as straightforward as the title, Dreamin' Black Boy, and the themes also as straightforward as the title. We're looking at dreams and aspirations, being a black boy, being a black man, racism, justice, equality, you name it. I'll focus on dreams and aspirations. Now we get the idea that the character in this poem exists in a time of oppression, slavery, post-emancipation, civil rights movement, every day in America. However, when we see the Ku Klux Klan, they are the plotters in pajamas, and we see the reference to Paul Robeson, we know that it might be 1950s to 1970s, and back then it was sticky to be a Negro in America. You Negroes! Therefore, the boy is dreaming about some very mundane things, a hug, education, real simple things the man wants. And the simplicity of his wishes illustrates the intensity of racism at his time. His language, simplicity, and innocence allow us to empathize with the character in the poem. Imagine, it's just a youth man, he just want these simple things, boy, you give him it now, boy, give him it now! Parallelism is an important technique that furthers the way we feel about the poetic person. Now, you could call it repetition, that'll be okay as well. And what I'm obviously referring to is the similarity in structure of the first line in each stanza. The repetition of I wish, I wish, I wish, simple plea with a large effect. What that does, it grounds the reality that the narrator is seeking after things, which means that the things he's seeking after do exist, as we established it before. So if you want to know what he's experiencing, look at what he's wishing for. I wish my teacher's eyes wouldn't go past me today. Every single day the teacher just ignoring the man. So he black and invisible, right? I wish I could be educated to the best tune-up. Sorry, but his education will be limited to some kind of half tune-up something. Look at it again. I wish torch throwers of night would burn lights for decent times. Nice alliteration there. Who are the torch throwers of night? Boy, these people who plotting in pajamas, boy, that Ku Klux Klan, they burning for the worst of times, which often used to lead to the pillaging of black bodies, hanging people from poplar tree and all kind of thing. So, there's a regular contrast of dreams and reality, and it evokes feelings of sadness when you're reading the poem. That contrasting of the wish and reality could also be referred to as juxtaposition. That is a technique used to show the differences in concepts. So you place two things side by side. Place the dreams, place the realities side by side, so you could get the stark contrast of what the boy needs and what he's actually experiencing. It's like walking through a mall and seeing this real fancy mannequin and thing, but when you look closer at the glass and you see your own impoverished self, it's like your impoverished self next to the mannequin of what you want to be. Dreams and realities. In the second stanza, he says he wants to be educated and not lick boots. See the contrast? Educated, not lick boots. But what that boots is? That boots is a synecdoche for power. It could represent white employees, white governments, white men, white privilege, and the boy don't want to be subjugated to that. So they use boots. You remember Senectike is using a part to represent a whole. Boots to represent all white power, and licking boots is as subjugated as it gets. In Trinidad we say BAM, the third letter of the alphabet lickers, and you don't want to be a BAM third letter of the alphabet licker. That's sad, man. In the third stanza, he says, I wish life wouldn't spend me out opposing. Oh gosh, I like that line, boy. He personifies life and objectifies himself. Life becomes the controller of him. Spending him. When you get the money, you have to spend it. All you look one, still too old. He tired of life using him. And while he is opposed to this, he still presents himself as unable to resist. And that really sends home the points that he's making. The stanza continues and he implies that creation has made him that way. That line is almost equivalent to when my mother make me so way what me to do. You understand? Society make him so he cannot do anything else. He presents himself as unchangeable. So the persona, we know the persona is the person in the poem, sees his destiny as that is where it is. He just has to stand by and look at it happen, and that kind of symbolizes a lack of mobility. Watch now, this poem is sad. Do not read this poem on a bad day. It'll be worse. Now, one bright part is the reference to Paul Robeson. He would have been a black person who rose above in so many ways in the 1900s. He was a kind of genius because the man could act, play football, sing. I'm sure he would have impacted their life in some way or the other. But like every great black thing in America back then, they tried to erase it. So I put in a video link to a documentary about him so you could take in the greatness. Paul Robeson still stood as a pillar for something for him to aspire to. We have some more Senectike at work. The torch, using the torch to represent the entire KKK. And here the ultimate as we would say. While our good friend dreaming at night, he is simultaneously opposed by these people dreaming at night to plot his demise. And who has the power to make their dreams more real? Obviously the white people. So that's a powerful contrast, and it's a very interesting part of the poem. When I was in school, this last stanza used to confuse me a bit, and I used to say, what he really trying to convey here when he's saying boys? I wish only boys were scared behind bravados. Now there's a nice alliteration there, and that alliteration kind of speaks to defiance, you know, a sense of bravery. It's like he's standing up, I wish only boys were scared behind bravados. It's like a whisper, a defiant kind of tone. But what essentially I think he's saying is that these fears extend beyond him. It's not only boys had to be scared behind bravados. It's girls, it's women, and more importantly, as a big man, you had to go through this too. The line, I can suffer a big lot, now seems to refer to that widespread effects of subjugation amongst all black people. In other words, black lives didn't matter here. And the suffering is going to follow you into your adult years, and he wishes that people could change so that wouldn't have to be his eventuality. Now, I won't comment too much on the structure because I see real different variations of this poem. A stanza missing, a line missing. Me know is the final version. It obviously in some sort of stanzaic form, meaning that there's a series of stanzas that may be equal in length. And if I had to comment on it, I'd say is that he put equal weight or equal importance on each thing that he wishes for. In your CSEC text, you'll be able to see how the stanzas are laid out and probably how that is relevant to the main of the poem. On the poetry scale, I give this a 8.5 out of 10. There's the poetry in Dreamin' Black Boy by James Berry. Listen, all references we use and the lyrics to anything we use are right in the description below this video. Remember to like and subscribe if you appreciated the content, and if there's some text that you want us to analyze, just drop it in the comments below. We'll get to it and find out where's the poetry.